Hello and welcome to the Dinosaur for week 13, another 7 curious, interesting things I saw last week. Before we start, by the way, I am now available for consultancy. So if you do want some of that, or if you need some innovation work, or you do want some workshops, do let me know. Find me on LinkedIn, be good to chat. However, let's start with AeroKart. AeroKart are commercial cargo gliders, hard to say. So this is Aerolane, and if you go to their website, they show you how they're going to do this. It's not been official yet, but this is the first test. So if you tow an aeroplane behind another aeroplane, the thing that you're towing is more efficient. It can tow basically in the aerodynamic wake, the vortices of the aeroplane in front. If 30% of the cargo traffic of the world at the moment use this, then we would save 60 million tons of CO2 a year. So if you go to their website, you can have a look at it. This is obviously just their sort of demo of it happening. You can either use an existing aeroplane and turn it into a glider, or you can actually have one of these custom gliders as well. So that's a kind of funky thing. It tows it all the way, by the way. As it lands, it's still actually connected. And that's kind of interesting. They're autonomous and all sorts of good stuff. Robots can now smell you, or in this case, this is research from Hong Kong University, and they have created a new miniaturized nose on a chip, an olfactory chip. So the big thing here is two things. One is AI, of course, but also they've made it detect 24 odors on the same chip, which is super useful. What's also interesting is what those odors are. So if you look on the right-hand side, orange, banana, mango, tea. Great if you anybody British trying to hide in a box, this thing can find them. But there you go, epoxy, that sort of thing. So what it does is if you put it on a robot, for instance, you can then use the robot's vision to get around, and also it can go up to, for instance, 5 boxes. And if you say which one's got the red wine in it, which is a great task, by the way, it will say number 4 and it will find you. So that's really interesting. In the scientific paper where I found this, actually what they're saying is it would be brilliant to actually start implanting this into humans to give them super smell so that they can smell things that they can't normally smell. So when, for instance, dogs can smell weird things, you think, how do they know that? That might be coming to humans soon. Emo robots, talking about things that humans can do, but maybe transplanting into something else. This is giving a robot some sort of sense of emotional reaction. So in this one, this is the researchers at Columbia University, and they put 26 actuators in this robotic face, and it can mirror using AI. Of course, they've trained it by essentially showing it lots of emotional range, and then it starts to understand what you're talking about. When you say something, what happens to somebody else's face, and it can use its cameras in its eyes to maintain eye contact and then mirror or react to your emotions as you say things. As you can see, it's kind of weird at the moment, but it's one step closer to essentially robots having some sort of emotional connection with us, or some sense of it at least. So there you go. See how that works. Apparently it does it in real time, or less than a second, 800 milliseconds, something like that. So weird. Adobe, or this is actually from Fast Company, but they've done an interview with Adobe ahead of their upfronts or their sort of demos, and quite a lot of the things that they demo do actually come to fruition. So this is probably going to happen. This is Project Infograph, and it will make infographics out of a text prompt and some data. So imagine ChatGPT, where you just say, look, hey, can you do me an infographic? It's specifically trained to make these infographics. It will also animate them as well. So as long as you've got an Excel spreadsheet and you tell it what to do, in this case, it's even realized that, oh, it's talking about a sports team. I'll pick up on the sports colors, and therefore I'll use a certain style, and I'll therefore animate it in a certain way. So there you go. So as a trained information designer, these infographics are particularly terrible. They're really complicated to understand what on earth's going on. So I don't think that's brilliant at the moment, but this is version 1. Who knows? Watch this space. It'll only get better. Sora, so this is from OpenAI. It's their video generation from text prompt thing. It's been out for a while, a couple of weeks now, and some artists and creators have had access to it, and they're now sort of starting to show what you can do with it. So you've got brilliant examples here. I just picked out 4. If you go from top left and go round. So you've got this brilliant made up documentary, which has got all these weird and wonderful animals, which are amazing. You've got this really interesting short film as well, which is showing you about continuity between scenes. Now, it's still difficult to get continuity between scenes, but by maybe just using it a little bit craftily, by saying, right, you know, a person with a yellow balloon, that's something very specific. So it looks like it's continuous, but if you look, the balloon changes and all sorts of stuff. But that's what they're trying to show you there. You can actually make a narrative short film. In the bottom corner, you've got a sculptor who is actually creating and generating these things using Gaussian splatting as the rendering by the looks of it as well, but then going on to make those things. So using it as inspiration to make actual things. And then you've got what is potentially essentially a normal TV ad being created in the bottom right corner. So it's not available for most people just yet, but this is what some artists and creators are making with it. LinkedIn, TechCrunch have had an article where they've actually also followed up on somebody who found and posted on Twitter that they found some code within the LinkedIn code base that is implying that there will be games coming soon. LinkedIn have confirmed this. So you may well be finding mini games and info games and training games and whatever it is on LinkedIn. Now, they've also implied that it might be that your company or place of work might be ranked in a certain rank. So it might be people from certain companies can be playful or smart or whatever it is. So you might even get a leaderboard of companies, and you might also be doing your LinkedIn training by these sorts of things coming soon. So we're starting to see this games and mini games coming back into the public consciousness. Used to be a massive thing 20 years ago. It's forgotten about, and now it's coming back again. So this might also be as crass as sort of Facebook for games as well. And we know what that became is basically a massive time sink. There you go. However, and finally, we have the Ineos Grenadier. Now, if you don't know what the Ineos Grenadier is, you might be thinking that looks exactly like a Land Rover Defender. It's not. It's totally different, obviously. Sir Jim Ratcliffe took the idea of the last Defender, which was discontinued, and said, I want to make this perfect. So it has a lot of innovative ideas of how to make it perfect. Gone through some lawsuits and things like that, and basically said, look, no, this is a unique car. It is nothing to do with a Land Rover Defender. It is its own thing. However, innovation is at the heart of it, making things better, and it has two horns. It has a horn and a toot horn, which I think is amazing. Well done for that. So the normal horn is I'm here, please watch out, or there's a dangerous thing going on. The toot horn is that when you just want that little maybe I'm just here, or just let you go, or maybe cross in front of you, you know, just that little, maybe a cyclist toot or something like that. So I really like that, bringing innovation to horns. Who'd have thought? Hopefully that was useful. Hope it was interesting. If it was, give it a like, give it a share. And likewise, if you do need any innovation workshops, consultancy, that sort of thing, do find me on LinkedIn. It'd be nice to chat.